I just found the perfect gift for someone who's starting off in sourdough baking or somebody who's been doing it for a while and would love to have this really cool set of all the things you need to kind of get that sourdough started. I'm Janella and I love cooking and I love having new things for the kitchen, and this is one of the nicest things I've found in a while. This is for your sourdough starter, but you know what? If you're not making bread at the moment, it makes a great storage canister that you can even display on the counter for dry goods, nuts, snacks, whatever you like. It's pretty roomy. So let's take a look at what all is included here. First of all, you have a scraper or a spatula here. This is solid, but with a silicone covering on it. Perfect for getting the rest of that dough out of your container, or for frosting. You can use it for either one. So this is a great kitchen tool to have, whether you're making sourdough bread or other things. And then, you know what? It's a set of measuring cups. I love that they're different colors. Really cute. But we have, you know, your basics here. You've got your 1/8 cup, 1/4 cup, 1/3 cup, 1/2 cup, and cup. You know, I've got 2 sets of measuring cups. So why do I need them? Because I'm missing the 1/4 cup on one set and I'm missing the 1/2 cup on the other set. So it's nice to have a full set here. But you definitely need to measure a lot when baking. I love cooking savory food and just cooking with your heart, but when it comes to baking, it needs to be more precise. So this is kind of a must-have. These are durable plastic, and they come with a nice hook to kind of keep them together so they're not floating around the drawer, but you can also take this hook off if you want to. You can hang it. So just a great thing to have for your baking. We haven't even gotten into the sourdough things just yet. So what's inside the jar? All kinds of fun things. So this jar really is designed to do the sourdough growing and feeding process. And I'm pretty new to making sourdough, but it's really a lot of fun. And it's the one food that feeds you, but first you have to feed it. So if you're familiar with sourdough, this is some starter that I took out of the refrigerator. So I definitely need to get this down to room temperature before much can happen with it. But basically the process is, in a container, I'm going to have 1/3 starter, 1/3 flour, and 1/3 water. I have to feed the starter. And you leave air flowing for a while, like the first 24 or 48 hours. And once it starts to bubble, then you're going to use more of an airtight. Now the goal is for it to grow and to become alive. Literally, it's expanding and bubbling, and that's when it's ready to use for bread. Use it too early, nothing's gonna rise. This is kind of like your yeast and leavening. So the nice thing about this jar for this purpose is it has measurement markings all along the outside of it. It's part of the glass, but here's a nice feature, and certain baking is very precise. This is an adhesive thermometer that can go here on the jar to monitor the temperature. If it's too hot or too cold, it's not so happy, so we want that. And then this is my favorite part, because the goal is to continue seeing this thing growing and doubling in size, but sometimes you're not quite sure. Definitely the first time I made sourdough, I did it in a bowl, and I had a hard time knowing really where I was at. This, it looks like a garter belt, right? But this is to help you with that. So when I first fill this with my starter, flour, and water, it's going to be at a certain point, right? With no growth or expansion. So now I can put this on to kind of mark the location or the status quo, right? And obviously I'm going to see it grow beyond that, and I know it's time to feed and time, and I'm getting to where I want it to be. So this is definitely cool, and it has times and days on it, so you can align it up with your thermometer and really keep up with what you're doing. I just think this is a great idea. It's really clever and simple, like one of those things I wish I thought of that. Anyway, more things to come. This, no, it's not a chef's cap for my cat, although that would be cute. This is to put on the top of the jar when you're starting the growth period, just to keep dust and whatnot out, but to still allow air to breathe. So you can use it for that phase of it. You can also use this one But then once it starts really growing, then you can use the solid lid. So you have all of these options instead of like wandering around the house looking for what you need. You also have this beautiful soft cloth, which you can use for part of the rising process or just for cleaning up. It's ultra soft. I really wish I could wear it. Baking, especially sourdough bread, it's an act of love. It takes time, and you invest all this time just hoping for a beautiful result. So nothing like having the right equipment to just give you a little bit of insurance that things are going to go well. This set is really awesome, and definitely I recommend it as a gift or maybe to keep for yourself.